Okay, so campaign manager, basically Amazon has a platform which by using which like we can promote our product to
Hmm.
our customers, right? So what is there are mechanism, that's something we need to understand now how we can do that, right? And when we or any seller do that, where that is going to be visible, right? So I'll just
Hmm.
come to Amazon page, product page,
Hmm.
or Amazon website. When I when I or any buyer comes to the site and try to buy, and he has the intention to buy something, right? So he would probably type in some keyword, and based on that, Amazon will show up result, right? Let's do that. Let's try for some product. I'd say office file organizing. This is the product which I have the requirement I want to buy.
Hmm.
Usually you'll see the result something like this, right?
Hmm.
And you see this result, if you see it carefully, it says sponsored and sponsored.
Hmm.
Okay. So these first two products which are shown up here, those are from Amazon Campaign Manager, Amazon advertisement platform, right?
Hmm.
And why these two are shown up here? They might be bidding high. This
Hmm.
particular store or the seller might be bidding high to get or to show up their product for this specific keyword. Okay, office file.
Hmm.
So how they are doing that? There are again mechanism like to target the keyword. There are mechanism. That's something I am going to talk about. But for your understanding how this thing happens in the, like when a buyer does any kind of search, then what exactly happens? Like how where this sponsored art would be visible, right? So this is one place, and you may see something on the middle and something on the bottom side as well on the first page. Okay,
Sponsored product.
yeah,
Okay.
sponsored. You see here, here also
Hmm.
there is sponsored products, right? It says sponsored. Okay,
Okay.
and you may see something on the bottom side as well. Let me go down. So that was in the middle, right? And you may see here. You see here
Hmm.
there are four again showing up on the bottom, right?
Hmm.
So usually it will be on top. There will be two or four number of uh, products, and in the middle also there will be some numbers showing. It will be two numbers usually, but it may also four numbers depending like on the product demand. I mean that specific keyword demand, right? So
Okay.
and on the second page, third page, still the advertisement also will be shown up. If I go to second page, see here on the second page also there are four sponsored product on the top, right? You saw that, right?
Yes.
And if I go little down somewhere here, here again in the middle you see there are again four on the second
Hmm.
page, and on the bottom side also there might be some are showing. Here on the bottom also there are four again showing up, right? So what is the difference like between the first page and second page and third page? What is the difference? The difference is the bidding for
Okay.
that specific keyword. Okay, at that point in time, bidding is like dynamic in I mean on click value as well as the time. So particular time, it might be the scenario that like there are the sellers who want to bid high and come into the first page, but there is no such mechanism as such till now in Amazon that you can bid higher in a particular period of time. There is not such mechanism. You can just say that your bidding range, right? And
Mm,
you Amazon will manage that and show up your product. I mean, there is definitely something which is there, like you can say that you want to bid high, uh, or I mean to an extent, to a percentage, right? That
mm,
can be mentioned, but not the time. Okay, but depending on that value, Amazon also can manage your advertisement and show up with higher, like by increasing your bidding value automatically, and can show up in different product page. Product page is totally managed. I mean, where it has to be shown, it is totally managed by Amazon algorithm. Okay.
mm,
Okay. Let's come back to here to the campaign manager. So what exactly? I mean, when I click on this campaign manager, I see this page like campaign drafts, bulk operation, advertisements, advertising setting, and advertising reports. Okay.
mm,
So I would not go on very detail that like how you create. I mean, create something. I'll tell about the keywords. What are the types, different types of keywords. But there are like campaign optimization and all those things. That will be special class where I'll talk about the PPC optimization and all those things. Okay.
mm,
So if I have to create a campaign, I'll just click on here, create campaign. And when you create campaign, there would be two type of campaign what I can create. Okay, let me go back here. You see the this top side,
mm.
this one. This is also
Yes.
a advertisement. You see the sponsored by Brush, sorry, Bush Furniture. Okay,
Mm,
this is also the advertisement. You see here advertisement it is written, right?
okay.
And this advertisement is nothing but this one, sponsored brand. Okay,
Okay.
and the other one which I was mentioning, which you saw on the result page, that's on that's from this advertisement, sponsored product. So earlier this used to call as HSA, headline search ad, but now it is changed to sponsored brand, and this is sponsored product. So they have
Okay.
two name, like simplified the names as sponsored products and sponsored brands. And these sponsored brands are not, I mean, everybody will not be eligible for running the sponsored brand advertisement. The seller who all are brand registered with Amazon, they are eligible to run the sponsored brands advertisement. Okay, so that's why you see the button as enroll your brand.
Mm,
What that means, the brand is not enrolled yet, brand is not registered yet with Amazon. That's why that button is showing up. If the brand is already registered, the button would have been like continue itself, right?
mm.
That's the difference. Anyhow, so there are two ad types. Now we have to, as I'm going to mention about this sponsored product, I'll just say continue, and I'll give my sponsored, sorry, campaign name. The campaign name I have to accordingly name something which I can, it should be a logical name which I can, when I see later point, I should recognize what exactly is this campaign, right? It is something I
Mm,
should say that ABCD, something like that. I should not put a junk character or something. I should name it properly, right? Some convention I should follow.
mm,
The convention can be, I can say the product name, product brand. This is something I'm saying. And I can say that sponsored product, SP, I can say it's SP, right? Go back.
this will be shown over there to the in the product, or this
Oh,
is for us
this
only?
name is for us. This is not going to be shown up on. It is. This is not going to shown up to Amazon customers, right? This is just for us. When you are doing at a point when you analyzing your campaigns, you should understand which campaign is what, right? From the name itself, you can probably understand what is that campaign. And okay, and there are actually two types of campaign within this product, sponsored product, which is nothing but automatic and manual. So I would say auto. Okay, so this is auto campaign.
Hmm.
Okay, auto sponsored product, auto campaign. And start date, usually I'll put the current date, whichever the date I'm starting on, that will be the start date. And then end date, there is no end date which you need to specify. If you want, you can, but it is not required. At any point in time, you can go and stop your campaign. You can go, right?
Hmm.
And you can set the daily budget, whatever the budget you want to spend on daily basis. That limit you can specify. Let's say if I will say $100. I mean, it is in India market, so it says that rupees, but in US market it will be dollar. Okay, and as I said, there are two targeting campaign. One is automatic and one is manual. Automatic targeting is something will be totally managed by algorithm. I mean, by Amazon algorithm. Everything is like managed, but there in manual, we have the privilege to specify our own keyword. Okay, but here in automatic, there is no option for us to specify our own keyword, set of keywords. What we thought of that I mean, whatever research we have done based our analysis and research, we might have selected some keywords, and we want to specify those keywords as our campaign keywords to show up on for those. I mean, show up our ads on for those specific keywords. That is something can be done through manual campaign. But when we select automatic campaign, it is something Amazon takes the information from the product page. Okay, and
Okay.
based on the product page, when it gets the information content, it analyzes your, I mean, the product what you are selecting to run the campaign. It will analyze your our product content. Based on that content, it will try to find the keyword, appropriate keyword, and show up the result to customers. Okay,
Okay.
so that's the automatic one. So I'm just and I'm moving now ahead. And here, uh, the campaign is basically structured in a way that, like, you have a campaign on the top level, and on the second layer you have ad group. Okay,
Hmm.
campaign is the top layer level. You can say, I mean, root level, and under that you can create multiple ad groups. Okay, and
Okay.
under each ad group you can create again multiple ads. If I go back here, when multiple ads, when I say, it is basically the products you can select on. Okay.
Why do we have to create this ad under the company?
Sorry.
Why do we have to create this ad under the company? It that company that sponsored one is the only thing we have to create, or we have to create another ad under it.
See, campaign has the I mean, attributes, like, it doesn't have all the attributes. It has budget as the primary attribute, and the targeting. These are two, and start date and end date are the attributes which are there. And ad group
Hmm.
have certain attributes which will be again carrying your complete, I mean, advertisement settings, right? So your
Hmm.
campaign is the top level. Under that you have ad groups based on, I mean, based on your the advertisement requirement. Your ad group will carry certain other attributes. Okay, so together it
Okay.
will be a complete advertisement.
Okay.
And
Is it visible?
sorry,
Is it visible on the page? This ad group.
no, ad group will not be visible. Your product will be
Okay.
visible. Nothing is going to be visible. When I come here,
Okay.
this one, right? when I type in the product, like I said, office file organizer, right? That was my
mm,
that was the customer's keyword. What customer was looking
mm,
for that specific keyword, the result sponsored ad result is something looking like this, and it is showing up the products only. It will show up the products. It will not show up anything like ad group, campaigns. Those things are not shown up. The end part is like ad is shown up. The product, which is nothing but the
okay.
ad is nothing but the product. That is going to be shown up, right?
Mm,
If the ad and all those things are shown up, how does that make sense to the customer? It makes sense to the customer when the product is shown up, right? They have the
mm,
they have the intention, or they have come to site to buy that product, whatever they have put the keyword, right?
mm,
So here, once I get that name, I can probably copy this and give a name to ad group as well. So I'll have to definitely give a name to ad group. It was not complete. I'll say second group and yes, and okay, this can say what of the art group? Art group can be like, I mean, see, it might be, it is, go back, I guess, go back. Select the set of five. This one not group I want to create, and I'll choose this one. I'll add this product onto my campaign list. I can add multiple as well. If I just not set of five, I'll say grow back ad. If it is not just this one, then I can add all of them, and all of them will be shown I mean, independently at different time to different
mm,
right. So I can add all of them, and
mm,
keep in mind when you are adding, it should all the products should be relevant. If you are running a auto campaign and if it is not relevant type of products, and the content is not same for all of them, then what will happen? There will be a conflict. I mean, the Amazon algorithm is going to get confused, and it may not give you the best result. Okay,
mm,
that's why you have to keep in mind that when you are running ad, it's better that we run for the individual product or the relevant product. Okay, right. So that's how you can. Then you can just say simply launch. But before launch, you have these settings again, bidding settings. So these are the new things which has been added up. Here it was just that fixed bidding was the one type of bidding. Now this is added up. Dynamic bids down only. What does that mean? Like you can set a bid default bid value which is showing up here, right? You see that it's a value which is shown up, and Amazon always suggests a value. It says that listed bid is this, and the bid range is this, something going on in between for this particular product. Okay, and you can always like go closer or little higher. Definitely at the early stage should go higher, because we want our product to be shown up to for many keywords. When it is auto,
mm,
you will have to always remember when you are starting a campaign, like when you are launching or when you do not have any kind of keywords for ourselves, right? We have not built
mm,
keyword, and we want to get more and more keyword ideas by running the campaign. Campaign is the best source to give us the more keyword ideas for your product, right? And then you
mm.
take those keyword ideas and on your listing to rank better based on the keywords which all are converting good, correct? So that's
Mm,
basically you can do. And for to achieve that, the suggested bid what is shown up here, usually you should bid higher than the suggested bid, something like maybe 10
right.
percentage higher than the suggested bid. So what will happen, like your product will be shown up more than your competitors. Okay,
Okay.
that's why like that would be good idea to do it in that way. When we do not have, when we are running the campaign first time for our product,
But
right?
it is not confirmed that in which page or on which side it will be shown.
It is not, no. There is no way that you can select I want to show my product on first page or product on second page. There is nothing as such. If that is the case, then it will be totally how it can be managed. So there are like this particular product might be sold by many other sellers, right? And on page one there is a limitation. On the first page there is a limitation. Let's say on a particular instance, one particular time, let's say at this time like 10 p.m., there might be 100 customers who have come and searching for the same product at the same time with the
Hmm.
same keyword. What will happen, right? If there is option given as like to choose page number one or page number two, that is going to be a major flaw in the system, right? It will not be, the system cannot handle that kind of thing. It has the option like to choose. I mean, it has the option given to the sellers to choose. That's to choose any specific page, right?
Hmm.
Then that would be definitely a biggest flaw. So that's why it is, there is no such option. The option is like bid. That's how every kind of like this online marketing or online advertisement platform works. Mostly like Google, Facebook, all this platform works on this mechanism itself. This is the standard mechanism. Okay,
Hmm.
and as this name says, like first option, bidding strategy option, the dynamic bids down only. So you can, whatever the bid value set, Amazon algorithm is going to make it down if it sees other competitors are also bidding low and the suggested bid also is going lower, then automatically it will lower our bidding value. And keep in mind, when you set a bid value, that doesn't mean that you will be always charged that much of amount for your bid. Okay, so it might be always lesser than the your bid value. In fact, it is always lesser than the bid value set for it. But it might be in some situation it might happen that you might, like, I mean, for a click charge this default bidding value what you have set, but
Hmm.
it, I mean, it happens very rarely. Most of the time you will be charged much lower than your bidding value. Okay,
Okay.
and you got this idea, right? Dynamic bids down only,
Hmm.
up and down, which is basically you are saying Amazon algorithm that you want to bid, I mean, you want to change your bidding up and down as and when the algorithm sees that it has to be done, right?
Hmm.
So it raised by a maximum 100%. Let's say if you set $3 for per click bidding value, it may change, I mean, it may increase 100 by $100, which is $6. It may take it to that as the bidding value.
100% means $300.
No, no, $3 can become $6. 100%,
Oh,
right?
okay, okay, double the amount.
Double the amount. Yeah. When your ad may more likely to convert to a sale. Lower bids only, I mean, when less likely to convert to a sale. So it may lower or it may higher. So it is, you're giving that option. And fixed bidding, you're saying that you do not want to change anything,
Hmm.
saying that this is the bidding, fixed bidding I want to set up, right? But usually, as this is the new feature, but I would prefer to make it dynamic bids down only. So what will happen if there is a, I would always put higher as a bidding value or
Hmm.
suggested bid, and whenever there is a I mean, requirement of bidding down, automatically it will come down. That can choose, or you can go for fixed. This option I will not suggest to do it. I would rather use any of these two.
Why not up and down?
Up and down, you will not have any kind of like control. So it may happen that you may charge higher. Correct?
Hmm.
I mean, you may lose out. So that's something. If you are not monitoring your campaign on every moment, then then there is high chance that you may lose out a lot of camp your
Is
money.
it possible to monitor it? Like
Yeah, you can. I mean, monitor in the sense you can come to your campaign manager and see how is it going.
how many clicks are there? It's going to show.
Yes, I'll show that. Yeah. So those things you can see. There is also this option like something which you can still adjust. Okay.
Hmm.
Top of the
What is this?
search is there. Like you can increase whatever percentage you want to increase up till up to 900% you can increase. So if let's say if it is three rupees or $3, then 900% is which can be I think I mean 100% is nine
Six.
times.
$6.
So let's say if I say 900%, what will happen? Yeah, it says here it's you see that bid will be $30, sorry 30 rupees for this placement, and dynamic bid could increase up to 60 rupees, right? So
Hmm.
$3, 900% is 60 rupees.
Hmm.
So 100% is 6 rupees, right? 900
Hmm.
rupees, 900 is 6 to 9. So no, I'm sorry. What I'm, I think 6 into 10. In fact, 900% is becoming 6 into 10.
Hmm.
Whatever. Like I mean, this is something you can still. I mean, this option. This is
Three
these are new options.
$3. It's showing 3 rupees. If you take it to 900, then it will become 60.
If I take it to 900, it becomes it will be 30. A 3 bid will be 30 for displacement. So that means like 3. I mean, the default bidding value increased to 3. Sorry,
Hmm.
this and your that can increase the bidding can go up till 60 rupees default bidding. Okay.
Okay. If we have selected that up and down dynamic
Up
bidding
and down
option.
is again on top of the bidding value what you are setting.
Okay.
Okay, that this is on top of your default bid. These three
Okay.
sets are on top of your default bid. So if you're doing this increasing by 900% and all those things, then that is something. See here when I made dynamic bids only, so there is no it's showing that it is going to increase because
Hmm.
the dynamic. I mean down only. So it has to come down. It cannot go up. That's why you don't see. But when I click on this, you see it is going
Hmm.
as well. When I click on this, it will become same fixed. It will be 30 only. It will be in that as the default bid. 30 is going to be the default bid. Okay.
Hmm. But why do we have to set this? Like if we have already set that above one, why do you have to set
So
this?
the reason is like you can set this as higher. This is something you are not saying the default bid as that 30 rupees. This is basically says this. I mean this strategy. What happens addition to your bidding strategy, you can increase by 900% up to 900%. So what happens like if you are setting this value to some percentage, so the time when it requires to increase the percentage, it can go up till there. Okay.
Hmm.
And if you see here, adjust the bid. This is more detail, so you'll have to really go in detail. But that's the meaning of it.
So like it can change by itself to
Yeah,
higher amount
yeah, it is basically by itself.
to come in the first page.
Yes,
Okay.
but not all the time it will be like that, because you, as I mean, as we are one of the seller, at the same time there are other sellers as well, right? So say other seller also might be doing the same thing. In that case,
Hmm.
bidding, I mean, when whosoever is bidding is higher at that point in time, that specific seller's product will be shown on the page depending on the bid value. Like if it is higher among all the competitors for that particular keyword at that point in time, you'll be shown on the first page. Okay,
Hmm.
and somebody who is on lower, they might be on the bottom side, or they might be on the second page, third page.
Okay.
Okay, so, and there are two types. You see the product page and top search page, which is nothing but first page. Product page is something, when I go on to any of the product, this is the product page. Okay, when the customer is on any of the product, they are in the product page, and you will always see on the bottom side there would be sponsored ads which are showing up. Those are, and that one is called as product page. And you can just show here sponsored product related to this item. These are again from campaign manager. Okay,
Hmm.
this is again from campaign, from advertisement, this Amazon advertisement platform. So that's the different one is from search, other one is from product page. And you can increase the bidding by again 900 percentage of maximum. You can increase 100%, 50%, 30%, 200%, whatever you feel, but that
Hmm.
100 is maximum. And when you increase, like you are saying that you want, I mean, basically bidding higher to
Hmm.
show up on the product page for related or specific type of products. Okay, I mean related products in fact. Okay, so that's basically here you have auto. When you are starting with auto, you do not have any option here to specify keywords in auto type of
Hmm.
advertisement. You can just specify the keywords, but there is no keyword which you can specify to, I mean, specify keywords to run your campaign, those specific keywords. Okay, negative keywords, something at the beginning you will just you will not add anything, but later point when you are optimizing, that's something I'll talk about later on, or detailed PPC campaign.
It can be those words which are not specific for this product.
Yes, yes, the basically negative keyword are the keyword which are not relevant and which are not
Hmm.
converting well, right, which are
Hmm.
spend
Generic.
money, right? Those are the keyword which will add them on this negative keyword section. So there can
Hmm.
be two types of keyword. I'll talk about this phrase keyword, exact phrase, and broad. What is those
Hmm.
types, match types? I'll talk about that. Okay. So once you add, if you have many negative keywords, you can add. But usually when you start a auto campaign, you do not have to do anything. You might not be knowing what negative keyword you want to put.
Hmm.
But if you are sure enough that you have some negative keywords for which you do not want, then yes, you can go ahead.
It's always good to start with auto so it can give us the negative as well as the
Yes,
positive
yes.
keywords.
It is always good to start like when your product has never, I mean, you have never ran any campaign for your product, then it is always good to start with auto to
Hmm.
get more ideas, keyword ideas from your or campaign itself.
Hmm.
Now I can just straight away go and say launch. I'll not probably do so. Once I launch, then campaign will be active. I can show how the campaign will look like when it is active. You see here, you can see there are campaigns which has been created, right? So
Hmm.
auto and manual and all those things. So these are the campaign, and you will see the columns like status, type. Type is something. If it is SP or SB, I mentioned that, right? Sponsored product and someone's sponsored brand. Targeting, manual targeting or auto targeting. The campaign has its own setting, right? And
Hmm.
start, ended. These are the attributes of campaign.
Okay.
And you see the results here on from this section onwards. Like you see result like spend, how much spent, how much orders you got, what is the sales value you got, how many units orders, and what is the A cost. I'll talk about this A cost actually, and actions. Okay, so these are the result columns which you would see.
What is this 200 budget?
Rupees, the budget, daily budget, you had one settings there while creating the campaign. You had seen that, right? Daily budget.
Hmm.
Should I go back?
Yeah, once.
Okay, here.
Okay. Yeah, yeah, I got it.
It's the daily budget. Okay,
So like it was daily budget over there. You have given 200.
200 rupees. Yeah, it depends. Like it depends on the campaign. Like if initially when you start off, you may limit a budget, uh, means by just by guessing, but there might not be any idea that how much it can be. You can put a, let's say, per day $10 in US market. Okay, so if it,
Hmm.
you see that how is it doing. Okay, if you
So
are,
what is this column showing? Spend like this much click or this much amount?
this much amount is expense has been made. Okay, and which is spent
Total
is
10.
basically the I mean you have paid this to this amount to Amazon. So Amazon charges this amount for this running the advertisement, right? For the clicks, whatever
It's
you
a
got.
huge amount.
Huge amount. Yeah, this is the amount which has been totally charged.
So like it is like one third of the sales.
One third of the sales, yeah. One third of the sales. But keep in
Hmm.
you you get, I mean, uh, sorry, sales from your campaign as well as from your organic sales. What do I mean by organic sales? It's basically the sales which you get, the, I mean, general, not general, like the
Normal one without
normal,
sponsored.
yes, the normal keyword search result.
Hmm.
So let's say I mean, if I am the customer, I'll and I'm looking for this product, and instead of clicking here, I'll probably click here if this is my product.
Hmm.
If I'm the seller, I'm selling this product. I'll click this. I mean, not I. My customer have clicked on this and
Hmm.
purchased this. For this, I'll not be charged anything because this is from organic result. But
Okay.
if any customer, if this is my product also, and if any customer comes and clicks on this and purchase or purchase or do not purchase, doesn't matter. If I click, if the customer clicks, then there will be charge. If the customer doesn't click, there is no charge. If customer
And
just sees and do,
how do they manage this? Like, is it very like trustable that they how much they are charging us? How can we judge it? How can we come to know?
What is that? I mean, what is the question?
Like I'm like how genuine it is that Amazon will charge us the exact amount how many clicks they have happening. How
Yeah,
to
it's
see that?
basically depending on the market, right? On that specific keyword. What, however, it has, I mean, the demand, the bidding value will go on increasing, decreasing, depending on the competitors' bidding. Bidding, this is basically auction-based system. Okay,
Hmm.
so they have designed their algorithm to work in an auction model. So what happens, like if in general you know that auction, right? So if
Hmm.
it is a car auction, and if I'm one of the buyer and I am bidding for the car, and
Hmm.
and somebody else, right?
Hmm.
What happen, like if I call for a I mean call a bidding value some amount, then somebody else may come up and say that I want to bid higher to buy that. Somebody else may come up, say again I want to bid higher, right?
Hmm.
So what happens? This, like whoever bids high, they have the chance of showing the product on the first page, right? So
Hmm.
that's how the bidding system works. The system works on the auction model. Okay. If
Hmm.
everybody lowers that bidding value, then obviously the product competitiveness goes down. Okay, not the product. I'm sorry.
Hmm.
The keyword competitiveness goes down, and the bidding value will be reducing day by day. I mean, day by day in the sense like for a period where till the time that all the competitors are reducing it, so it will go down obviously, right? The
Hmm.
same applies in a general auction kind of thing, right? Where you, let's say everybody is saying no, I do not want to buy, then obviously the demand goes down of that particular product or the value. Let's say if it is a house which is something, I mean, is for auction.
Hmm.
At that point, like if nobody is interested to buy that house for some reason, obviously the wedding, let's say bank is has put a auction for that property.
Hmm.
That is how it works, and that same concept is applied here.
Hmm. The number of search coming up, it will like increase or decrease the bid amount.
Not the number of search,
Number
num-
of keywords,
number of clicks, and
clicks.
depending on the clicks, uh, the competitors will basically, yes, you are correct. Number of search is one of the major factor. If the search
Hmm.
is higher, that means search volume. Search volume is one of the factor
Hmm.
which decides how competitive is the keyword.
Hmm.
Okay, so if a I mean if a keyword uh, like which has really high search volume, that what does that means? That means a lot of people are trying to find the product with that specific keyword or that keyword.
Hmm.
I mean that keyword is being used many times. The volume is really high. So the system determines that it is a volume searched, high searched volume keyword, and depending on that, it will increase that bidding value.
Okay.
So then competitors will go on bidding little higher, little higher. Let's say if I am one of the seller, I want to get that keyword and show my product on the first page for that specific keyword. Then I will go higher than the suggested bid, and somebody else may come and go higher than the suggested bid. When when somebody else comes on top of me has increased some value, then the system itself will increase the suggested bid value as well. Okay,
Hmm.
so that way, like it goes higher and higher.
So
But
we have to continuously check the suggested bid amount.
who has to check continuously?
Like if we have set, for example, if we have set this 200 rupees, so then when
But
do we have
200
to?
rupees is
How
not
can we come to know that if the
200 rupees not bid value. This is a budget.
okay?
This is a budget. Budget is different and bid value is different.
Okay.
Yeah. So
Budget means it cannot exceed above this, right?
yeah, so 200 rupees is your daily budget. So what does that mean? Like when you reach to that limit, your campaign will not no more in I mean running. It will go
Okay.
out of budget. Okay, and
Mhm.
it will automatically, it will not be paused as such, but it will not be running. I mean, no
Mhm.
more further keyword will be shown up. For further any keyword, it will, your product will not be shown up to customers.
Mhm.
Specific day. Next day again it will be reactivated. When next day again it will show up because next the value will start from zero again.
Okay.
Yeah. If you want to increase, like when you see out of budget, if you want to see that okay, my that day you are getting really good sales, then you can increase
Mhm.
budget on that day. Then you can, I mean, you can manually do that. Okay,
Okay.
so let's go back. Okay, let me come back to this campaign manager again. Okay, so the next type of campaign is uh, annual campaign. That's and if I say, I mean, this is something I specify because, as I said, there should be some logical name, right?
Mhm.
Yeah. So I would keep some budget, which might be 200 or might be 2000. It all depends on my limit, right? And I'm selecting the second option, targeting option, which is manual. Okay,
Mhm.
and I'll keep the name as same, like I would say something like this. Manual.
The name can be same.
Can be same, or you can just see something add group. I'll say add group. Okay, can be same, no problem. Art groups are inside of campaign. Okay,
Mhm.
so it will not conflict with other campaigns art groups. But if you
Mhm.
are two art groups with same name within one campaign, it will not be allowed. You got it right?
Mhm. Two campaigns with the same ad group name.
No, no. One campaign under that, if you're creating two art group with same name, it will not.
Mhm. Okay.
If I say if I'll show you probably. Okay, so I'll select the product whichever I want to run the ad for, and you see the same settings, so I do not have to go again on this. But here you see I selected that manual. This is the new option which has opened up. Do you see that targeting option?
Mhm.
This is because I have selected the manual targeting.
Okay.
In case of auto, there will not be anything showing up like this.
Mhm.
Just that I've, I have selected manual. That's why it is showing up. So keyword targeting and product targeting. This is new again. Product targeting they have launched just recently.
Okay.
Uh, this is something I'll talk about later. But here keyword targeting is the one which you will basically, when you check that radio button, you will see this box. It says
Suggested.
suggested, which is which is basically the keyword which are getting fetched from the product which what I have selected here, right? That's getting fetched from there. So it says that suggested, and it is Amazon itself is getting that and saying you can do that. But usually you will not do that. You will when you if you see there is anything, any keyword which are matching and which are relevant, maybe you can choose. Or if you,
Hmm.
usually you must have, done your product research, and you must have some certain number of keywords, and you must have around like 100 keywords on your keyword bank for a specific product. Okay.
Okay.
And this suggested one, as I said, I may not choose, I will not choose. I must have my own keyword, and I would say enter keywords. When I say enter keywords, I have three match types. What are those match types? Broad, phrase, exact. Okay. What is the
Okay.
difference between broad, phrase, and match? Sorry, exact. Broad is, let's say if I say, go back. This is a keyword, and I'm saying this keyword match type is broad. So what it does, what the algorithm will do, it will, use this keyword. Along with this keyword, anything it can add before or after or in between.
Hmm.
Right? It can add any other word or words before, after, or in between. In between, go back. Okay, if it is
Hmm.
three word, it may add in between anywhere. Okay, if it is three word fabric, let's say if I say fabric, go back. So it can add before, after, any other keywords can be added in between this space or this space. And it, it can also do, I mean, can change the positions also. Okay.
Okay. If it is like grow bag fabric, then it will also search it.
Yeah, it will, again, it will be, yes, it will be applicable as well. That's basically broad. And let's go back to phrase. If it is selected as phrase, okay, so what will happen? Anything before or anything after, it will just put any other keywords or words before or after. Nothing will be in between, and it will just
Okay.
that specific keyword what you have and some other words will be added before or after. Okay.
Okay.
And what is exact? If it is, selected as exact, it is going to be exact that keyword. When customer
Nothing else.
typing in this exact keyword, my product would be shown up as advertisement. Okay,
Hmm.
that is the meaning of exact. But there are definitely, in case of exact, there are like plurals are considered as like can be shown. If I say fabric grow bags, customer are searching for fabric grow bags. If I have selected my keyword as fabric grow bag as exact, still for grow bags, fabric grow bags, my product can be shown up. That means for plural also it will be shown up.
Hmm.
And if there is any kind of like or and in between, that also can be considered in case of exact. In between,
So
if
I don't think anyone would use this exact for this.
there are exact also, there are people will use. So
Hmm.
that's something you will, I'll talk about on optimization part and campaign man, other session where I go in detail what is
Hmm.
that and how to use that and all. That will, at that point you'll learn. Okay.
Okay.
And now once I select my specific keyword and the match type for any, the specific set of keywords will be for exact, and specific other set will be probably phrase and all. So you can mix and match, but I will not usually mix and match. I would use, most of the time I'll keep it separate. That's my style. Because later point it should be convenient for me to do the analysis. That's why I would not mix and match any. I mean, within one ad group, I will not use exact phrase broad. Broad separate, exact separate, and phrase separate. Okay, there is a reason actually. If you do that, you can manage well, and you can, if you want to stop or if you want to, I mean, manage keywords from the keywords perspective, it will be easy, convenient.
Okay.
Yeah, and the negative keyword is same, like there is phrase and exact, as I've explained. So it is the exact meaning of it, but negative, it will be negative. The keyword what you are putting, that's basically for those specific keywords, your ad will not be shown up. Okay, that's the meaning of it, and that is how you will be basically setting up a manual keyword, sorry, manual campaign.
Manual campaign will be done after we have done auto campaigning, right?
You can do together, you can run all together, but usually you not be doing at the beginning, because you do not have a lot of idea about your keywords, but sometimes run broad along with your auto to get more ideas. You say, let's say, I mean, you have already researched your keyword set of keywords, and you know that these are the relevant keyword for my product, and which might be the keyword used by the customers to find the products, right?
Mm,
Those set of keywords you can use, and you can run as broad campaign. Then you will get more ideas from those set of keywords as well. Okay,
mm,
so broad is the other option, you can along with your auto you can run at the beginning. Okay.
mm,
Yeah, so this is how like you can create a campaign. That's
mhm.
that's basically overview. There are a lot of in detail thing which I'll go on uh, later sessions. Like you have this advertising settings. Bulk operation would not be applicable for us, like as we will not be having so many number of products. Like that's why it will not be applicable. Let's say if we are the kind of seller who have like thousand SKUs, it would not be easy for us to manage each individually. We may use some bulk operation. That point it is useful, but that's not something I'm also going to talk about. That is something I leave basically for sellers who are having many SKUs.
Okay.
I will talk about advertising settings on my later class sessions, and optimizing part and reporting, advertisement report. This is the, I mean, the place where you definitely, I mean, you will definitely use this to optimize your campaign. And report will help us to understand how our campaign is performing, which keyword are not doing good, which are doing good, right? Whether to reduce the bid, whether to increase the bid, whether to, like, all those things you can understand from this advertising report. And what are keywords, like I mean, you can find more keyword ideas from here also, from the reports. So I'll talk about that thing later,
Mhm.
next PPC session, whenever I'll be taking that.
Okay.
So any question on this campaign manager?
Mm, no, as for now, it's okay. Sounds good.
Okay, nothing at this point, right?
Mhm.
Okay, no problem. So then we'll stop here, and next session we'll talk about few reporting things here.
Mhm.
What is this reporting part I'll talk about? That's all, and quickly about performance. What you usually
Okay.
see, what you have to take care of. I mean, what you have to basically see
Mhm.
from your performance perspective, right? That's what I can. cover up on next session.
Okay.
And that would be probably last session on Shallow Central. Then we'll go on other part like other things. I think talked about ship, shipping things I've covered right already.
Where in this Seller Central?
Seller Central, yes, I have covered or not. The shipment plan, I've covered, right?
Yes, manage FBA shipment.
Yep, manage a base shipment plan. And there is other, I'm talking about the general shipping, that in-code terms and all. They covered like DDP,
Sorry?
DDP.
Yes.
I've covered that, right?
Mm,
DDP
yes.
and right, that's something is covered. And what else? Shipping, supplier communication I've covered, right?
Mm,
Yeah. So now,
yes.
yeah, this is something would be there. Advertisement is there. Listing optimization would be the other thing which I'll cover up. Advertisement optimization. Yeah. So
Mm.
then, yeah, with that I think I'll be mostly covering up all sessions. All
About performance service in B2B?
B2B would not be that much useful at this point. B2B is basically for business sellers. I mean,
Okay.
business customers, and that would not be something you would be selling your product as B2B. But that feature is there. Like if any B2B's customers want to buy your product in bulk, there is a setting in your inventory which you can set here. You see, business price and
Mm.
add quantity for discount. Like you can give, let's say, if you want to say, okay, here you want to say at least 200 units. If somebody buys 200 units, they'll get this much of percentage of or this much of rupees, right? So that's something you can add. That is,
Okay.
you can any point, I mean, keep it set. I mean, you can keep that and leave it. Whenever somebody buys, that will be visible and to business buyers, and that will be visible. They can buy, and I mean, you can keep that open option,
Mm.
option set, so that if at all at any point if somebody comes and interested on your product in bulk, they can go ahead and do it. There's nothing actually. You just set up. That's all.
I don't think anyone would do that in
Hmm?
Amazon. Is
No,
anyone?
yeah, it happens. It happens, but it will be very less. If there are sellers who want to buy in bulk, let's say
Mm.
I'm a seller on Amazon, right? I can buy product in bulk from Amazon as well. Let's say if I have some office requirement where I'm not selling that product,
Mm.
but I have requirement of buying some number of pens, right, in bulk.
Mm.
Okay, so maybe 500 pen I want to buy for my all employees.
Mm.
Correct. Then I can go and buy in bulk. That is where this business option will be useful.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, so B2B, like would be available. You can means set it once, then that is left. Whenever there is a buyer for your product, it will be sold out. Like if they buy it, that's all. So anything, yeah. So as you do not have anything, so I'll just stop here.